Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim Nacker, and I want to take you out live right now to College Park Elementary because we have a really exciting event that is getting underway right now. It's our Books to Kids event, and you can see actually some of our staff kind of getting set up at the school. Let me show you some footage from our last Books to Kids event. There you see Better Call Harry, you see Tracy Hutchins in that video there. And if you're familiar with Atlanta News First, you know that one of the things that we are so proud to do is give books for free, thousands of books for free to kids in need. And, you know, we really believe that teaching kids literacy early on can change the trajectory of their lives, give them so many opportunities. So Atlanta News First has distributed more than 86,000 books over the past 6 years, helping more than 17,000 students in need all across Metro Atlanta. During our visits, every single student gets a backpack with 5 books. Atlanta News First personalities have visited 24 elementary schools in Metro Atlanta to read to students and get them really excited about reading as well. So for this event today at College Park, let me give you a live look out here. At College Park Elementary, we're going to be handing out 2,760 books, which are going to put our total of books distributed to 86,490 books, and we're so proud to be able to do this. And I want to now take a look back at our previous event, which was at Rockbridge Elementary. This was just in March, just to give you a look at what we do at Books to Kids.
When we think of books and book events, we often think of staying quiet and reading in place, but that's not the case today here at Rockbridge Elementary.
You don't need to call Harry for this one.
Books to Kids. Books to Kids.
But we did anyway.
Hey everyone, good morning. Books to Kids.
Rockbridge Elementary students from K through 5th grade received a bag of books today, courtesy of Atlanta News First.
You guys are so cute. I love this.
The Books to Kids event handed out more than 5,000 books, bringing the total to more than 83,000 over the past 6 years, made possible by generous sponsors like Delta Community Credit Union.
Reading broadens horizons. It allows kids to explore new places, new perspectives, new possibilities with the turn of a page.
Kids got a chance to meet Atlanta News First anchors and meteorologists.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Ask them questions and even get autographs.
Well, we gotta make sure you get one.
Students need opportunities to engage with text, maybe get off their screens a little bit more.
It's important because research shows that if kids are not proficient in reading by 3rd grade, they'll likely never catch up.
With all the planet and its hills of history.
And the program continues to grow. Since its inception, Books to Kids has served nearly 16,000 students at 23 elementary schools.
Books really open up a world that maybe a lot of our children may not have access to.
Reading in Norcross, Joshua Skinner.
Books to Kids.
Atlanta News First.
Okay, so that was at Norcross back in March, and here we are, College Park Elementary School. There you see Lana Harris, you see meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi, and you see our Atlanta News First team. They are getting ready to hand out 2,760 books for these kids. All right, so I'm going to leave you with this live look at our Books to Kids event.
So it's Q&A, so I'll wrap you in. Yeah, whenever you want to.
We cannot, we don't want to get the kids with us. You'll get back to head, fingers, hands, headshot.
want and anything you want. These books are yours. They're no one else's. They're yours to keep and read, read, read. If you want to borrow with a classmate, like trade them off, you know, maybe you read something and they haven't read something, go ahead and do that. But this is what we do when we go to different schools, because we know it's important to learn to read, because that is a large part of what we do every day. A large part of what we do every day is read and learn. Every single day. I think we can say this all, right? Every day we learn a little bit of something new, even at our age. So this is an opportunity for you to ask us questions. Since there's not that many of you, I think we'll get a lot of questions in. So we have folks from the meteorology team, from the First Alert weather team, evening anchors, morning anchors as well. I'm kind of middle of the day. So it runs the gamut. The only thing we don't have is sports today, right? Yeah. Don't have any sports. So if you have any questions about the weather, about what we do in terms of news, about how we got our start, about what it's like to work in news, please let us know and we would love to answer that question. I'll just let you know my name is Tracy Hutchins and I've been with Atlanta News First. I've been with the station now for 17 years and I anchor the show at 3, at 5, and at 7 o'clock in the afternoons. So a lot of us are going to tell you a lot of bit about what we do. I will ask, when you ask a question, if you can raise your hand, we'll call on you. Stand up, say your name. We want to know who we're talking to, okay? So stand up, say your name, and ask your question. This is a small room, so you won't have to yell, okay? You guys ready?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. All right, here we go. You have a question? Yeah. What's your name? Thank you, Taylor.
Don't users like use a green screen for like the weather stuff?
Yes, that's a good question. So I'll introduce myself first. My name is Courtney Jacobazzi. I'm a meteorologist at Atlanta News First. Yes, I know my last name's kind of crazy. So we used to use a green screen, and obviously you can't wear green on there or you look like a floating head. So the nice thing about not having a green screen is now we can wear green. But yes, when we would have a green screen and we would be standing and telling the weather, if you look behind you, it was just a green wall. So what we would have to do is we'd have a TV in front of us, a TV on this side, and a TV on this side. So no matter what way we turn, we could see what we're pointing at. So it took a little bit of practice, just like anything you're learning for the first time, it takes practice. But now we're lucky enough to have a huge TV monitor behind us, so we don't have to work with a green screen anymore. But and you guys see the green screen? It is. It's fun. It's a fun tool to have. We miss it sometimes, but it took a little bit of practice. But yeah.
Good question, Taylor.
Who else has a question? I know it only takes a few.
My name is Cass, and when y'all with the monitors, do y'all have like words to tell y'all what to say when y'all talking?
Yes. Good question.
That's a really good question. My name is Sean Gables. I anchor the 4, the 6 p.m., and the 11 o'clock news. And guess who's going to be on the news tonight?
Who?
You.
Oh, no.
So you see these cameras looking at you? Look at the camera. Look at the camera. And on the count of 3, and you're going to say, Atlanta News Flash!
Hey guys, we're not having our news today.
Let's practice. Look at the camera, and I'm going to count to 3. We're going to say, Atlanta News Flash! Wait, hold on. We got the 3. We're not. 1, 2, 3.
Atlanta News Flash!
Oh gosh, I know you are more hyped than that. Do you guys know about the beef between
Drake.
Drake and and you hear that music and you get all hyped about it? I didn't even know that until my kids told me about that. So I want you to have that same energy when you look at the camera, okay? Look at the camera. We're going to practice it before we tape. And we're going to look and go, Atlanta News Flash! Okay? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was good. One more time. 1, 2, 3. So, you see how I guided you on what to say? That's when we're looking at the camera and you see a person telling the news, There are words that are guiding us on what to say, the very same way that I just guided you on what to say to the camera. And that's called a teleprompter. And you can't see it, but we can. Good question.
Good question.
This young lady, please stand up. It's not that bad. And what's your name, sweetie? Charisma? Nice to meet you.
So it's like how big is the TV? Because will it be that big or big?
Wait, for what the teleprompter when we're reading? It is probably the size of maybe this. Which one? Oh yeah, the size of that.
Mine is so small.
Yeah.
For the teleprompter, what Courtney does is much bigger than that. It's probably, I mean, it's much bigger than Courtney.
It's bigger than me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that big, but
So that's why I wear glasses, because sometimes it's hard to see. It's really tiny like that.
Yeah.
So how y'all?
Quick, good question. Stand up. Go ahead.
My name is Nala Smith, and I wanted to ask, how do y'all get the weather reports? Like, how do y'all know if something's going to happen or not?
that's a great question. Yeah, so every day when my team and I go into work, we open up our computers and we look at video and images of satellite and radar, so essentially images of the sky that we get from space. We have satellites floating around all in space. They're not just floating up there to hang out. They're actually giving us really cool information about if clouds are out there or if storm systems are moving in, so we can look at stuff like that. I mean, we'll look all the way back out in like California to see if a storm system is going to make its way to Georgia to kind of get an idea of weather. But we look at all kinds of different data. We're lucky enough to have information fed from those satellites and radars all the time to essentially let us know, hey, there's going to be rain coming this way, there's going to be storms coming this way, it's going to be really hot, it's going to be really cold. So we have a lot of tools that we use to make a forecast, but a lot of it comes from our satellites in space and then really complicated math problems that thankfully we don't have to do. So how many of you have ever used a calculator, right? Yeah, okay, so that tool allows you to do math a little bit easier, right? Well, that's kind of how our weather models work. When we're on the computer looking at weather models and saying, oh, okay, this one thinks it's going to rain today, this one thinks it's going to storm tomorrow, that's kind of like our calculator. It takes a really complex math problem and gives us the forecast in an easier way, just like you use a calculator to solve complex math problems. So we use lots of tools to do that. Yeah, it's all from our knowledge when we went to school. We read, we did math, we did science, and we use all that knowledge that we learned throughout our education in order to create a weather forecast every day and help us use those tools. So.
All right, Tiger, so I apologize, but we ran out of time because we have to get the next class in here and give them their books too, okay? So you know what, we have another something for you before we leave. So any one of us are happy to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, just pull us aside and let us know. We will love to answer. And also too, I forgot to mention GSU, they are here along with Pounce. You saw big old Pounce, right? Yeah. So Georgia State University cheerleader, so say hi to them, give Pounce a hug, and thank you.
Nobody needs to move yet. No child needs to move yet. Have a seat.
Let me go around. Okay.
Everybody, let's go, guys. This is two. I mean, it's 5 back over there. I'm gonna try to get it. We got our classmate.
Because those are third grade. Yeah. Oh, y'all went. Oh, she went over here because they're over here. Oh, yeah. No. Third grade. Is third grade Q&A? Yes.
Is somebody reading to somebody this time?
No, this is the Q&A. So yeah, that's why I figured. I'm like, you're not going to need a sheet for that. Gotcha. That would be. Yeah, but that was well, all the classes, you see them walking.
That's awesome. Are they still looking?
From that side, pushing it in. Is it facing you right? Yeah, roll it in. One more time.
Absolutely. That would be awesome.
Oh, you're not getting me right.
Hey, Jack.
Roll it in.
Ready? 3, 2. Bringing. I'll get. Bringing stories to the next generation, one book at a time. One more for safety. Bringing stories to the next generation, one book at a time. All right. I think I got it on that one. And then once we have some kids coming through, while you're giving high fives, I'll okay, just look over me, look the line, hand me the hand out of the bag, and then we'll do the 86,000. Okay, perfect. Do you want me to read it?
I know, yeah.
You want me to do the 86,000 books when the kids are coming through? Yeah, like high five. You'll like give a high five and I'll like raise my hand. That means I'm good to go. Okay, good. You'll look at me and just dead eye the camera and say, okay, we're getting over 86,000 books across Metro Atlanta. Okay, and then I'll have somebody say the 17,000. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Dillard's going to be our representative. Oh, you should. Yeah, hold it. Right. I don't know if you're shooting it for.
Show what it is.
Yeah. They will. You
don't have to move around for 2 hours.
Third grade's outside. Yeah,
that'll work. Thank you.
If you want to do that, you can. I think they're. I'll check. It looks like they're.
Yes, sir.
Are they all here?
They're
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
my favorite.
Oh, yes.
I think that on the street. You don't know me from anywhere.
So yeah, when we do that, we'll just, usher everybody over there. We're waiting on one more class. But we're on time. It's 10:21. It's supposed to be 10:25, so we're early.
Early all day.
Okay. Well, because, we should be ending, I think we had been ending a little after 1. This will end at 12:50. Or really, as long as the book reading goes for kindergarten. Oh. Did he pick book readers? Where's David? Is David in here? Did you all pick book readers yet?
That's you, Josh.
If you sit up, you have to read.
So, Sean, you usually do like set first or
I do the Q&A.
Second grade's the first book.
I'll do second grade. I'll do second grade.
Really? Not kindergarten?
Oh, yay! They're here. Okay. Well,
something special for you. Yes, so do I. So if you have any questions for them, please let me know. So our meteorology team, and also our evening anchor. Sean is anchors in the evening, and Rick and Lana anchor in the morning, and I anchor during the middle of the day. So just let us know any questions you want to ask us. We'll do a quick introduction. My name is Tracy Hutchins. I've been with the station for a while now, like 17 years. No one down here is 17 years old yet, right? No. So I've been here at the station for longer than you've been alive. So what we do every day is learn something new, and we read. And that's why this is so important for us to come to schools just like this. So when you ask a question, I ask that you raise your hand. We'll call on you. You stand up. We want to hear your name nice and loud and clear because we want to know who we're talking to, okay? We ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, let's go. Who has a question? Yes, ma'am, in yellow. Stand up. And your name.
When did y'all start?
Great question.
Good question. What's your name?
Alana.
Alana, nice to meet you. My name's Rick.
Right. This is Alana.
Exactly. This is
My
Lana
name's
right
Lana.
here.
Oh, you don't have to just kidding. That's one of them. I was thinking.
No, go ahead.
Are you sure? Well, I've only been doing this for a couple of years now. You guys have been doing this for
Forever. She's trying to say we've been doing it longer than she's been
much
alive.
longer than I've. So I got into this after college, and so wow, I don't really want to say how long it's been. I guess that's 7 or 8 years ago. But I kind of started in college, so that's kind of a really good point. If you have something that you know you like to do, you can kind of start right now learning how to do it. So I really started filming myself back in high school, just kind of doing little news segments and stuff. So if you really want to know, that's probably when I would say I started doing this.
That's cool.
Thanks. You had a question.
What's your name, Steve?
Why do y'all make videos?
That's a great question. And so I think what you're asking is how do we get the news that we cover and put on TV? Great question. And so one of the biggest ways that we get news is that we ask you or your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister or your aunt or your uncle or your grandparents or your teachers or your bankers or the people you meet in the grocery store. We ask you to call us and give us a tip. And we have an app. Do you know what apps are? Yes. They're cool. They're cool. Yeah, apps are cool. That app is an Atlanta News First app. You got to go home and tell your parents and say, Mom, Dad, you got to get this app. It's called the Atlanta News First app. It's free, and it gives you all of the news. It gives you all of the weather, and you can send us tips, news tips. And that's one of the ways, one of the biggest ways that we get stories is that we rely on you to tell us what is going on, and then we go and check it out. And so, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get home and tell your parents? Yeah.
You tell your parents, to get the Atlanta News First app.
Yes.
And you can give them tips on, you can give the people.
That's right.
You got it.
Yeah. She said it was kind of really great.
Oh, so we answered your question. All right.
Hey, thank you.
Is it fun being on the news?
Right, we do fun things. That's not a bad thing. What's your name, sweetie? Nebrea? That's a good question. So just like with any job, some days, yeah, it's really, really fun. Other days it's stressful. Some days it's hard. We all admit there's some days that, we have to tell bad news stories. And I know for Courtney and the weather team, when it's severe weather and there could be a tornado, major storm, then it's bad because you're worried about people's safety.
Right.
But we're very blessed and fortunate that we have an opportunity to talk to some amazing people and go to some amazing places and tell stories that, might not have an opportunity to be told. Where's he at? So Josh Skinner, our reporter, he's gone out and done some very, very cool things. things, and talk to people he probably never thought he would ever meet in his lifetime. So the quick answer is yes, I do love Reno.
And we also have celebrities come by that we get to talk to. You guys know who Tiana Taylor is?
Yeah.
Nice Jordan? Yeah. People like that, people will come, we get to interview them. We do interviews, me and Rick, in the morning show. Sounds pretty cool. Okay.
Good question.
All right. Yes, sir. Stand up.
How do you build confidence to be on the news?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's amazing.
So my name's Rick. What's your name?
Tristan.
Tristan. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet all of you, by the way. And as I'm sitting here and looking at all of you, I'm thinking to myself, I was about your age, 3rd, 4th grade, when I started to sort of understand that there were jobs, that people who told the news on TV that was what they did for work, and that maybe I could do that one day. And I started to think about that. As far as the confidence part goes, though, that took a little more time. When I first started doing the news on TV, I would get very nervous every day before I went to work. I would be getting ready, brushing my teeth, and I remember being so nervous because I knew that I was going to go to work, and I was going to have to be on TV, and it probably took about a year or so until I felt comfortable and confident that I was not going to screw up every day. Now, I will tell you that I still make mistakes even today, and I've been doing it for a very long time. We probably all could say that we make mistakes. That happens on a regular basis, and we have to deal with that. But I think that the more you do something, whatever it is, the more confidence you get in your ability to do it. And that goes the same with our business, too.
Just to piggyback on that real quick, I think you have to care more about what you're saying than what anybody thinks about you. So as soon as you can start really feeling confident in yourself, knowing no matter what I say or do, I don't really care what people think about me, as long as I'm being a good human, right? Then I think it gets easier to be on camera.
Good question, Tristan.
Yes, ma'am. What's your name, Sue?
Ashanti.
Ashanti?
How long does it take to record?
To record the news?
Yes.
So we do it live. So it's as it's happening. So if this were in our studio, this would be live right now. Now what we're recording right now will air later on today at like noon, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 11 actually, all day long. But we record some things, but when you see us all, when you see Kabir on the set, Courtney, Sean, Rick, and Lana, and me, that is live, like it's happening right then. And to Rick's point, sometimes we make mistakes because you make mistakes in the moment. So what we do is all live as it's happening. Yes, ma'am. In the back. Oh, yes, ma'am. Go ahead. And then we're going to get to you in the night here. Yes. We get shy. Kabir, do you want to answer?
Oh, you get me.
No,
I was actually very, very shy when I was your age, and even when I was in college. And to Rick's point about do we get nervous and building confidence, I think most of us probably started as reporters because that's where you learn your trade. We didn't all just start anchoring. We didn't all just come and sit down at a desk and start giving you the news. We had to go out and report and interview people and do those kinds of things. And I used to be very scared because I was intimidated by the people that I was interviewing, whether it was a city councilman or a state legislator or the police chief. Those people were intimidating, and it takes time. But I realized after a while that my job was really just to ask questions and be curious. And I didn't have to be that hard-nosed, person. It was just being curious and asking questions that anybody might ask. So you can overcome being shy. I'm still much more comfortable talking one-on-one than I am with a big group of people. But you guys are great. It's easier talking to children than it is adults. But you can't overcome being shy.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. And then Nike Air. Yes, ma'am. When is our birthdays? Oh, that's so sweet.
You just had one, didn't you?
Huh?
You just had one recently.
6 months ago. Mine's in January 14th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm a Capricorn. Who's a Capricorn?
Any Leos?
I know we're Leos.
We're both Leo.
August, baby. Maybe back of July.
Maybe Scorpio. No Scorpios? October. What do you think? And then okay, everybody's attention, please.
Is he a tiger or lion?
I'm sorry.
Oh, Con, so you a tiger or a lion?
Neither.
Neither.
Panther. Was he always blue?
Was he always blue?
Con, were you always blue? Yep, he's always blue.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you start?
Good question. Incredible question. Yeah, well,
I started because I just felt like, first of all, I'm nosy. And back when I was about your age, I was always listening to adults. You know, you're not supposed to be listening to adults when they're talking. I would do that, and I'd get in trouble. I'd have to touch my nose and hold it for as long as the adult I was listening to told me to. But I've always just been curious about what was happening around me, and I just felt like other people should know this too. So you ever see something going on, and you're like, oh my God, I have something to tell my mom. Or, oh my gosh, I have something to tell my friend. I always felt like that. So I wanted to tell everybody what was happening around them.
let me see, we have one more. Way in the back. Yes, ma'am, with the headband.
Has being on the news been your dream job?
Oh, that's a great question. It was definitely my dream. When I was as young as kindergarten, I would sit behind my mother's wooden cedar chest, and I would take words that I was learning, and I would create newspapers, because newspapers were big back then. And I would pretend that I was a news anchor reading on TV as early as kindergarten. I can remember first grade, second grade, doing the same thing. And I would just watch morning shows, and people who anchor like Lana and Rick, I would watch them on TV and go, gosh, that would be a dream. And I'm a first generation high school graduate, first generation college graduate, first generation MBA, and first generation news journalist.
And the U.S. veteran.
Yes.
And the Army.
Tigers, thank you so much. Now, let me just say, did they not have amazing questions?
Yes.
So insightful and thoughtful. Thank you. So we have one more thing for you. And again, if you have any questions, just pull any one of us aside, and we will be more than happy to answer. We just want to make sure we can get the next class in here and give them their books too, okay? Give yourself a round of applause, because you were all right, so we're going to make sure everybody gets a sticker, okay? What's your question?
I wanted to be class president in fifth grade, and I did my speech, and my knees were like visibly shaking, and people made fun of me for forever for it. Yeah, I'll never forget.
They probably would have done the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but then after that, it was like every leadership opportunity, anything, I was like, Mom, put me there, because I didn't want to like have to be nervous anymore, and I did public speaking.
Kids might have been like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm doing it.
So you don't want to be like Cody also. So I was like, hey,
Oh, I gotta get this right. I gotta get it right. Yeah. Okay. You're like humbled, like, oh no. Oh no.
Maybe I'm not as cool as I thought I was.
Glasses off. Really nice little glow. Yes, a little smile to the camera. Bringing stories to the next generation.
And then I'm trying to get you saying one book. Do the same thing, the tap.
This one?
Sorry, Dr. Wayne.
Even behind the grill.
There she is. to imagine? Yes. Okay, here we go. Who knows who John Lennon is? Do you know who he is?
Yes.
What is it?
He's a bird.
He's a bird.
He's a John Lennon.
An illustrator. Who is John Lennon? He's a what? Wait. He's a crow. No. He's an He's a singer. Yes. Hush. Clap. Over in the corner. Y'all point at the corner. Say you're not listening. All right. Jerome, listen. John Lennon is a singer. He's a famous singer. So let's practice our singing. This side only, I want to hear you sing. Okay, this side, beat 'em. Okay, you ready? Okay, sit up straight. Are you ready for the first page? Okay, here we go. Imagine that there is no heaven. Close your eyes, look up. Say, is there a heaven? Okay, look at the page. It's easy if you try. Let's imagine. No hell below us. Did I say no to it? It's in the book. Above us, only the sky. Let's look above and let's wave to the sky and say, hello, future. I am a superstar. Hello, future. I'm the first millionaire in my family. Clap. Imagine all the people living for today. You see that? Imagine there's no countries. Imagine that there is no countries. It's hard to do. Close your eyes. Squeeze them tight. Look up to the sky and say, I imagine my teacher letting me go to recess. Today. No homework. Look at me. It's possible. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living in peace. Okay, look at your neighbor. Give them a hug and say, peace. Look at me. Come, are you listening? Do you want me to tell please? Okay, look at them in the corner. Come important imagination gets. Close your eyes. If you miss this, you're going to miss a blessing. Close your eyes. Squeeze them tight. Look up and say, I imagine. I imagine. I am going to go to college. To graduate from college. And go to Georgia State. And make lots of money. And come back to my elementary school. And read other students a book. Thank you so much. I'm proud of you. Would you like a sticker?
Such a fun initiative because when you see the students and you see the smiles, like we've even got one behind the scenes right here. There you are. So we always have so many bright young people who come out. They're here to get books. We're here to give them books, but also here, like you said, to have a little bit of that Q&A and whatnot. And that's always fun too because they ask some serious questions. They ask some not so serious questions.
I got a mic. We're good.
We got a mic.
We got a mic.
So they ask every question you could think of. We're talking things like, how much do you make? They're still waiting on a real answer about that.
One kid asked a really good question.
Mhm.
What do you love about your job? And,
Yeah.
you know, it makes you think, like, oh, I'm really lucky to get to do what I do and deliver the news every day.
And you bring up a great point, Maria, because in this industry, you know, when kids, and especially kids who are maybe the same age that we were when we first had the dream of being on TV or becoming journalists and whatnot, we understand how important that answer is. Yes, we deal with the day-to-day of life, the day-to-day of the news cycle, you know, in a world now where things can be quite political, where there's so much crime happening, and we have to report on those things. So sometimes it can be a little hard to, you know, still say, I'm excited. We obviously know our purpose is to serve you as a viewer and make sure we're keeping folks informed. But, you know, when you have kids who are so innocent and they're just like, they see the flashing lights, they see, you know, maybe the fancy clothes, depending on who you are. They see all of those things and they automatically associate that with what news is.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're always upfront with them and tell them, you know, the straight up answer is, look, there are some tough days, but there are a lot of great days. And when we're out here, those are one of those great days where we get to see them face to face and just have a good time.
Well, Brooks, you're a dad.
Yes.
Your little one isn't reading yet, but
I'm reading to him, though.
you are reading to him, and that is important to get
Yeah.
them excited and exposed to reading. Sean Gables
Yes.
just read for, and I do believe we have some new classes coming
First
in.
graders coming
First graders
in.
in the house. Best time to get first graders excited about reading is really now. The sooner, clearly you know all about
Yes.
that.
And look, you know, as they're coming in, I just want to tell you guys, you know, being a new dad, I understand my son can't quite understand everything that I'm reading, but he's still picking up on what he sees on the pages. So right now he can't read the words. Some words he can say, like he can say car all day. That might be one of the only two words. That and dada and mama he can say right now. But I know there will come a day where I'm actually reading to him and he's understanding what I'm reading. One day he'll be this size, not there yet, but one day he'll be this size. And I hope he's able to get some extra books, even though we have 5 million of them, it feels like at home. But he'll be getting more books too, and you'll see smiles just like what we're seeing on these kids' faces as well.
Well, Brooks, I know these kids appreciate having you. Thanks for talking to the ANF Plus viewers. And
I'll
of
be
course-
back, don't you worry.
Yep, Brooks will be
You know I'm
back.
coming back.
We got Sean Gables in the house, Tracy Hutchins, and the rest of the anchor team. And look, these are first graders, so you know the reading is about to get real. You just saw Sean Gables reading. This class is about to get some exciting book content, and each of them get to go home with 5 books in their bags to get them started on their reading journey. We'll take you now to this class and a reading and question and answer portion. And thanks for sticking along for Books to Kids. This is an awesome initiative. We are, again, at College Park Elementary School, reading some books to some kids. All right, thanks.
start sitting crisscross applesauce. You guys are amazing.
Good morning, first grade. Good morning. A little bit louder. Good morning, first grade. I love it. My name's Rick, and I am a news anchor at Atlanta News First. And my job is to read the news on TV every morning while you guys are getting ready for school. So if you were to turn on Atlanta News First when you're getting ready, you're eating breakfast and getting dressed and brushing your teeth, I'm the guy that's telling you the news at that time of the day. You do? Very nice. Well, I used to watch the news. I used to watch the news when I was your age too, and that's how I got the idea of being a newscaster one day. It started when I was your age, and I learned about reading, and that's why we got you all of these books that you have in your bags, so that you all start to think about reading, and you practice your reading, and you read during the summertime, and you read with your sister, and you read with your dad, and you read with your uncle, and you read with everybody. It's fun to read, and that's probably the biggest part of my job is to read. And I would like to read to all of you, if that's okay. Yes. That's okay. Whoever you live with, and maybe it's not somebody that you live with, maybe it's just a friend. You can read with anybody. Reading is a fun thing to do. I love to do it. I do it every day. And we want you all to read every day. You can also just read by yourself, too. That's one of the other fun things to do. Reading is a great way to entertain yourself. You don't need anybody else around you. All you need is a good book. So we gave you some good books, thanks to all of our friends, and we want you to read them. So please do that. The books that are in your bag are yours to keep. They belong to you and nobody else. You can take them home, and you can keep them. You can put them by your bedside, and you can read them, and when you finish it, you can put it down, and you can read another one. Yes. You want to be a doctor? Well, then you better learn to read, because doctors have to read medical books. Big, thick books to learn how to be a doctor. So that's great. It doesn't really matter what you want to be when you grow up. Reading is going to be an important part of it. Yes. Your mom's a doctor? Well, then she knows all about reading. And you should know you should read with your mom, too. So that's awesome. Very nice. All right, yes. An artist? An art teacher? Well, all teachers have to read too. It really doesn't matter. Any job that you can think of involves reading. So that's why we're here, is to talk to you about reading and to help you learn to love reading. Like we love to learn reading. Like we love to read. So this is a book that I brought with me. And I'm going to read it to you guys, and I hope you don't mind. And maybe we'll do a little audience participation, yes? Oh, well, that's beautiful, I'm sure. That's great. I love art. Any kind of creativity is fun. So this is a book that's called There Was a Cold Lady Who Swallowed Some Snow. Has anybody ever heard of the story of the old lady that swallowed a fly? So this is like a little bit of a different take. Instead of old, this lady's cold. And instead of a fly, she swallowed some snow. So let's. You have this book? A chick. I don't know why she swallowed a chick. Okay, so I'm going to read this book to you guys and show you the pictures. And if you guys could please pay attention, that would be great. All right. There was a cold lady who swallowed some snow. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you know.
I swallowed snow.
Swallowed snow?
Yeah, I did.
Gobble, gobble. There was a cold lady who swallowed a pipe. She wasn't the type to gulp down a pipe.
My sister swallowed snow, and then she realized the taste, and then she realized that it was pee.
Oh, not a good story. She swallowed
swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled from layers of snow. Tickle, tickle. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you know. There was a cold lady who swallowed some coal. What was her goal when she gobbled the coal? She swallowed the coal to keep her pipes glow. She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes. She tickled and tingled from layers of snow. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you know. Can I see the picture? Okay, let me show you the picture. There was a cold lady who swallowed a hat. Imagine that. A black-brimmed hat. She swallowed the hat before she froze. She swallowed the coal to keep her pipes glow. She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled from layers of snow. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you know. Because that's what it says. Well, you're going to find out. This story repeats itself a little bit. So if you want to chime in, you can. There was a cold lady who swallowed a stick, a long brown branch. What a pick. Crunch, crunch. She swallowed the stick to push down the snow. She swallowed the hat before she froze. She swallowed the coal to keep her pipes glow. She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled from layers of snow. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you know. Yes. There was a cold lady who swallowed a scarf. A long striped scarf. She tried not to barf. She swallowed the scarf because it was so cold. She swallowed the stick to push down the snow. She swallowed the hat before she froze. She swallowed the coal to keep her pipes glow. She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled from layers of snow. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Now this cold lady had quite enough. So she thought and came up with a plan. She hiccuped twice, and out popped what popped out? What's the first thing that popped out? A scarf. And then what? A snowman. No chicken nuggets. All right. Will you all take a selfie with me? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Don't go anywhere. But I need you guys to make everybody wave at the camera, okay? All right? Yay. All right. Thank you. Oh. Hi, look over here, guys. Thank you. Whoa. Okay, thank you. Who likes stickers? Anybody like stickers? Okay, my family likes stickers. So come on over, we have some stickers, and if you guys have any questions, wait, hold on. We're going to pass them to you, okay? Yeah, okay. We're going to walk around. I'm going to walk around to you guys. Everyone's going to get it, don't worry. So good.
I would have knocked everything down and I would give you
So this is a handheld mic, and that one is like a shotgun at the top.
Hi, it's me. Why isn't it Donna's logo on the back? It's me. If y'all watching this, please say thank you.
And look at all those first graders who just got to sit down with anchor Rick Bolbaum. Back here on camera, Maria Moreau, joined by the one and only First Alert meteorologist, Courtney Jacobazi. Might have seen her on the morning news today.
Yeah.
Now you're here.
Here I am, and this event is one of my favorites. It's just so fun to see all the kids come in and get excited about books and be able to take them home, especially around summertime.
Now, you were one of the our folks sitting up here getting wonderful questions from these kids, and some of them had weather questions, green screen questions.
Yeah.
How was that, just being able to interact with them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool for kids to see, real life people that are on TV kind of come right in front of them and give them, just the encouragement that they can do exactly what we did and kind of give them insight on what we do every day and encourage them to, follow what our dream was to be on TV and to be where we are. And it's really cool to be able to encourage the kids to follow whatever dream they have, whether it's be on TV, be doctors. We've heard some kids say they want to be artists and dentists. So I think it's just a really unique opportunity to be able to go into schools and encourage kids to, work hard and chase after their dreams. It's really fun.
Be ready to read and be a good reader at that. These were first graders, and research shows that if you are not literate or proficient in reading by the third grade, you are going to have a very hard time catching up. So it's important for the parents out there and for us to be able to do this and encourage, even at the first grade level, that they can grab a book or take home 5 books and get their reading journey started.
For sure. And yeah, like you said, third grade level, that's kind of the baseline, right? Because at that point, you're not learning your letters and sounding out your syllables anymore. You need to know how to do that or you start to fall behind. So to be here, to have our crew here excited and amped up to get kids excited about books and everything, I think that just carries into them like, oh, well, they think reading is cool. So like maybe I'm going to think reading's cool. And the books we choose for these kids, some of my favorites. So my favorite as a kid, we were talking, both love Nancy Drew, but the Magic Treehouse books, they just, the imagination in those books just like ran wild, and the third graders actually got those books today, so I was really jazzed to see that they got those books because I know that was one of my favorite as a kid, so really fun.
It's exciting to talk about, the books that we got to grow up with and read for the first time. It seems like we all read the same books.
Yeah.
And now we're passing that on to these third and second and first graders. I think this next class is actually kindergarten that's coming in.
Yeah.
I'm correct.
Yeah, pre-K, so a little younger, which, I mean, the earlier you can start kids, getting them excited about books and just, opening their minds to what a book can do. I mean, it brings you into another world, right? And I think sometimes, kids have really big imaginations, and books really bring that forward. So to start it at pre-K and get them excited and give them kind of a starter library, if you will, with these little bags we hand out, it's really cool.
And the cool thing about this is, in total, from the 6 years that we have been doing this here at Atlanta News First, we have donated over 86,000 books. We've handed them out to kids. We've got kids connected with stories that we all loved growing up, and now they get a chance to go home, share it with their parents, sit down in their rooms and read and immerse themselves, like you said, in a whole new world.
Right, and find new favorites. Some of the books that we give them, there's one about Walt Disney, which I think is super cool. I mean, every kid knows Mickey Mouse, so to be able to kind of dive into that, they might find a new favorite book, which is really cool. And then when they bring it home to their parents, maybe when their parents see, like, hey, my kid's really interested in this, maybe that means, you go to more trips to the library over the summer, because over the summer, kids, they're up when they're here every day, but in the summertime, when they're not immersed in school and in reading and their everyday homework and activities, that there's always that dip, right, in education and kind of keeping up with what they learned. You almost have to play catch up when you come back to the school year. So I think, especially books to kids right before summer starts and everything, even more important, because they're getting those brand new books like a shiny new toy. And I think, if they get excited about it and their parents see they're excited, maybe, I mean, the library is a great activity over the summer. It's a free activity, first of all. And
it's quiet. That's for the
It is
parents.
quiet, yes.
It's a quiet space.
But I think, some of these books, if the parents can see that they're getting excited about it, maybe that means that just encourages them to go to the library more, so then they don't have that deficit quite as much when they go back in the fall time.
Yeah, exactly. We were just talking to Brooks before this previous class came in, and he has a little one, not reading yet, but he's already reading to his son, which is so important for parents. You don't have to wait until your child gets that age where they might start independently reading. You can start reading to them now and grabbing, some of those books that we talked about. I think Rainbow Fish is a popular one of my favorites, and just being excited about the book so that your kid can be excited about reading.
Right, and this program, I think you've touched on how many thousands of books we've handed out, which is super, super cool. But they're bringing them home to families, which means, maybe younger brothers and sisters or cousins and stuff like that they do see over the summertime, so then they can share it. So it reaches way past just the schools that we're in, which is awesome.
And I think our next class is coming in, and we are going to have Anchor Gravir Dinza reading a book with a very special person as the main character. So we're going to welcome this class in and have you join us as Gravir reads to these students, and hopefully talk more about this Books to Kids initiative that we do every month. It is so important to get these kids excited and ready and confident in reading.
Definitely. Confidence is a huge one. So we're excited to see what this book is all about. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Courtney. Let's welcome this new class in.
Good morning. Y'all are so cute. You know what? What, honey? You need help? What do you need? You want to open it? Oh, you want to put it on? Okay, let's do that. Let's see if we can figure that out. Okay? Hold on. There we go. We got her. We got her. We got her. Okay. Ready? Okay. Oh my goodness. That's a big bag. You got it? There you go. Okay, are you guys in pre-K? Yeah! Oh my goodness, that means after the summer you're going to be in kindergarten? Wow! Are you excited? Yeah!
Well, eyes forward on your bottom.
Have you had fun in pre-K? Yeah! What are you learning in pre-K? Are you learning to read and write and do all the fun stuff? Yes. Well, if you'll listen for just a minute, look at me, look this way. I'm going to tell you my name, okay? But it's a little bit unusual. It's a little different, okay? Because my family's from India. So my family's from a whole different country. Yes. So my name is Gurveer. Can you say Gurveer? Gurveer! That's right. Some of you see me on TV, right? Right? So I'm just always in that little box. So you kind of turn on the TV, you can turn the volume up and down. But today we're all here in person because we want to share our love of reading and books with you. Because when we were little, somebody used to read to us and somebody gave us a book to read, so we want you to have books of your very own, right? Do you guys, okay, let me ask you a question. Do you know who Mickey Mouse is? Yeah! Do you know who created Mickey Mouse? Yeah! Can somebody tell me? Okay, it was a man named Walt Disney. You know Disney World? Right? What? Yes, ma'am. Oh, sir. Okay, one at a time. One at a time. So here's the deal. You know, there's Disney World, and Disneyland are in Florida and California. Oh my goodness. Okay, so today I'm going to read to you a book about the man who created Mickey Mouse and Disney World and Disneyland. And the name of the book is Who Was Walt Disney? Okay? So let's find out who Walt Disney was. When Walt Disney was young, his family lived on a farm. Not in the city. They lived on a farm. They didn't have a lot of money, okay? So Walt Disney and his family, they didn't just have a bunch of money. But Walt was free to have all the fun that he wanted. So he loved playing outside. He probably loved feeding the pigs. You see the pigs right there in that story? And he loved playing with the chickens. And it was really fun for him when he was little. He had... So when Walt Disney was little, okay, you guys look this way. Do you like to imagine things? Right? So when Walt Disney was little, he had a huge imagination. And he loved to draw pictures of all the animals that he had on the farm. And he would sit there under a tree, just like that, with a notebook and a pencil. And he would just sketch all the things that he saw. And maybe the things that he saw in his imagination, too, on his farm. See, look at all the pigs that he drew, and the ducks, and the chickens, and the mice. I don't know about drawing mice. Oh. I'd be kind of scared of the mice. And a bunny rabbit, too. So when Walt Disney, though, one day, have you ever had to move somewhere? Has anybody ever had to move? Yeah. And that can be kind of hard, right? Because you have to leave your friends and you feel like you're going somewhere different. Well, right, so that happened to Walt Disney because his family moved from the farm to the city. And that just wasn't fun anymore. And his father started a brand new job. And Walt and his big brother, he had a big brother named Roy. Do any of you have big brothers or sisters? Right? Right, so Walt Disney had a big brother named Roy. And can you imagine if your daddy... Okay. So Walt Disney had a big brother named Roy. And can you imagine if your daddy, your mama, or grandpa, or grandma had to go to work and you had to go to work too? Yes. So because they didn't have a lot of money, Walt Disney and his brother had to go to work too. But you know what made Walt Disney really happy? He loved to draw. So he would just draw, and he would make, you gotta listen, he would make real funny pictures. And he would make cartoons. And he realized that when he was drawing all these things, that made other people happy too, because they would look at his pictures and that would make them laugh. And he thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And one day he dreamed, like you might dream of whatever you want to be when you grow up. Well, Walt Disney dreamed that he was going to grow up and his job would be to draw pictures all day long. That's what he wanted to do. So he would just draw all the time. So then he got older and he became a young man and he worked really hard. But he realized that he could not do it all by himself. But guess who he had? His big brother, Roy. So he and his brother, Roy, decided that they were going to start a studio where they could draw cartoons and pictures that would make other people happy. And then they started making their cartoons move. Okay? Not just on a piece of paper, but the cartoons started moving. And they called it animation. Right? So now, all they needed was some pretty big ideas.
Mickey Mouse!
Right! So they decided, wait a minute, before they get to Mickey Mouse, they decided, okay, well, we've got the cartoons and we've got the animation. What if we add sound and then all of these cartoons could talk? So they created a mouse named
Mickey Mouse!
Yes! And Mickey Mouse became instantly famous. He was like the most famous mouse in the whole world. And everybody wanted more cartoons from Walt Disney. And so he got even bigger ideas. And so his cartoons were just a few minutes long, and he thought, well, maybe I'll make movies. So he started making movies like Cinderella. Remember those movies? And Snow White and Pinocchio. And they became real big hits. Well, now Walt Disney had a family of his own. So he had little boys and little girls. And one day, his daughters were riding a merry-go-round. Y'all know what a merry-go-round is, right? And he thought, I wonder if I could make a big park where everybody could go and ride rides. What do you think that was? Disney World! That's exactly right. So he had a big idea. And Walt Disney imagined this marvelous park filled with rides and adventures where every child and grown-up would have a world of fun, and his dream became Disneyland out in California first, and then Disney World, and it was the famous family theme park, and to build it, he asked his whole team of artists and engineers to dream really big and use their imaginations. And look at the teacups, remember? So they have teacups that move, and Donald Duck and all of those. Walt Disney created all of those. And you know what? Even with all the big things that Walt Disney did, he never stopped. You got to listen. You got to pay attention. Y'all got to be nice to each other. Okay? Even with the incredible things he created, he never stopped dreaming. His huge imagination still inspires a lot of artists today and makes a lot of people very happy. And that is the story of Walt Disney. So I think that, you know what? You know what this story tells me? That it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter where you live. If you have a